Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. Today I wanted to give an update on my long-range microquad. I have had some progress. I have made some changes since the last video. Now if you want to see the full setup of this microquad, you can check out the first video in this video log series. But I'm just going to show you in this one the changes that I have made in order to get more range out of it. So in the last video, I got about half a kilometer, and that was pretty much it. The video was fading out at that point, and I couldn't get any further, really. And so the last time, if we just have a look at the FPV pod here that I've got, the last time I was just connecting a 3.7 volt 100 milliamp battery directly to the VTX and camera. But if you look on the Ready-Made RC website, these VTXs are supposed to take 5 volts. So the first thing I did was added this 5 volt regulator from FPV Hobby, which are fantastic, by the way. And yeah, so I went out and tested it with my normal setup, and I wasn't getting any further. The only thing that was happening was this was getting a bit hot, or hotter, should I say, but not hot enough to melt the hot glue, which this is glued in with. Usually I wouldn't hot glue a VTX in because of the heat, but this one doesn't get even hot enough to melt the glue. So yeah, I didn't get any further with that. But since then, and hold your breath, these turned up. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, that I've sold out, right? But don't get me wrong, I'm going to do another video on these Fat Shark goggles because I'm not impressed with them at all. In fact, in the entire RC hobby, they're probably the worst thing that I have ever bought, but that's for another video, okay? Now, for this purpose of long range, these goggles made me realize that on this setup, I can't have the video receiver here and the 5-watt booster so close together. And what was happening was, it wasn't a problem if the video transmitter, it just got to a certain distance, and then the 2.4 booster was swamping the signal to this. So what I realized was, when I was testing these out, because I wanted to give them a really bad review, and mostly I am going to, but for the purpose of this, I don't know whether it's the internals of the Fat Shark that they have spent a lot of time in the frequencies, but I've gotten much more range out of this. Now, what's interesting is I do have the Quantum goggles, which I have also connected a video receiver to, and I had the same distance as that with this. So, yeah, not too sure about that. Maybe the Fat Sharks are good in the end. So what I'm using with this is a 1.3 gigahertz module that was very kindly sent to me by FPV Hobby. I think they're going to be selling them soon. So I use that, and I'll just show you a shot of that quickly. So here we go. This is the 1.3 gigahertz module that clips into the Fat Shark goggles. Not very well, I must say. Again, that's for a completely different video. Yeah, so it's not the fault of the module that has been sent. The module's fantastic. In fact, I was sent this to review a USB connector, which turns your laptop basically into an FPV station. That's going to be a future video, but for now they fit in the Dominator goggles, which does have a built-in DVR, so it does tick all the boxes for this kind of setup. It doesn't tick a lot of other boxes, which I thought it would do, but again, that's going to be another video. So yeah, I went outside with this setup, and let's see the video. Okay, this is my first attempt. This is the DVR footage from the Fat Sharks. You can see there, I just thought I'd fly around myself to show what position I was in before I went flying out there. Now, this really is the first time that I have flown with these, so I'm not sure what to expect. Now, what tends to happen at about this point, and I think it does happen here, there, over this street here, I get this interference, and I get this interference when flying 35 megahertz, and it even takes the control out to the plane, so clearly interfering with the 1.3 megahertz band there, but you can see as soon as I get past that street, it's fine. So I'm just sort of edging forward here because I don't seem to be getting as much interference at all compared to the last time I was flying. So edging forward very slowly here, and the video is not breaking up. I think I turn around at this point just to see what kind of reception I'm getting, and as you can see here, it must be, I think I said this was the 300-meter point, something like that. No video breakup, so I carry on. Now the video starts to look weak, but it's not breaking up. So those trees at the back there are 800 meters from where I'm standing, and I'm thinking I'm never going to make it to there, but it just keeps edging forward and keeps going to the point where I have to turn around because I ran out of field. So this long-range project, it's going to have to require a different location because there we go. Ran out of space. Quite pleased with that. And I'm flying back slowly. I tend to find that if I fly back slowly, the battery doesn't run down so fast. I was doing full tilt, full power, and then wondering why I'm only getting 2-minute flight times where I can get a 4-minute flight time if I just edge it forward a bit slowly. And you'll see here, actually, as I come past this street again here on the right, we'll start to get interference again. You can see it. I mean, I don't know what is causing it. It must be some wires going under the ground or something like that, but it doesn't like it. So what happened here is I figure, well, I'll go down the other edge of the field, forgetting that those trees are blocking the line of sight. Now, 1.3 gigahertz is good for going through objects, but it's not good for going through objects at distance. So as you can see here, completely lost it. But this is why you need a screen that doesn't blue screen, because I still managed to get the control back. You can just about see through the snow where you are, and you can turn around, but obviously you can't do that with the blue screen. So this is the next attempt. I thought I'd play around with it a bit more. So again, I thought I'd go straight for it this time, just show you again where I'm taking off from. Just going through slowly. I'm coming up to that street there, and you'll see there again, interference. It's really annoying, and like I say, I do still fly 35 megahertz, and I have to avoid that street because it has crashed my plane, that interference there. So yeah, these trees again at the 150-meter mark, and then the next set of trees 300 meters and so forth. Now, if you will watch the last video, about here is where I started to get in breakup. And then completely lost at about the 500-meter mark, but we go all the way again to the back of those trees. Absolutely fantastic. Now, one thing that I should say is, before I did this video, I had a chat with Alex, or you might know him as IB Crazy, who is the antenna expert, and sort of inspired me to do all this longer range stuff with micros, and he advised me that I should use a biquad antenna, so I'm either going to make one or buy one. But here I just thought I would have a complete fly around this distance and just absolutely no breakup, trying to keep in line of sight of the signal. But you could see there having much better success here, having the using the module with the fat sharks. Look at this guy here. Doesn't even notice me fly over him, is on his mobile. This thing is so quiet, even I don't notice it fly over me sometimes. And so, yeah, there is going to be some other things that I'm going to do with this. I'm probably going to have to find a longer field, because this one gets very thin here. And I think I tried to fly down it, but again, the trees sort of block the line of sight. You'll see here when I fly over here, start to get breakup, turn around, and you can't really see me. The trees just blocking the signal, and when I go ahead and behind the trees, we get the breakup. So unless I fly in a complete line, which is difficult, then I'm going to have to find a different location. But Alex does advise me that if I use this biquad antenna, that I should be able to get 9 kilometers out of it. Now, I'm not sure the battery will go for 9 kilometers, and really, to be honest, all I really wanted to do was be able to fly the length of this field, which I didn't think I'd be able to do, but I have been able to do. Just a bit of showing off there, flying through the legs before landing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to think about what we do next. But what I did do is with the other setup using the video receiver on the transmitter underneath, I thought I'd show some bits where I had some close calls. So this was where I had changed the 5-volt regulator but stuck with the same transmitter setup, and I thought, well, if I'm not getting range, I'll try some flying about, and I went behind these trees and completely lost the signal. I don't know how I got it back. I was so lucky. Again, just trying to peer through the snow and see if I can see anything. But this next video as well, just going over that band of interference there that never really stops. It's either the fact that the VRX isn't very good, it's a very cheap one, or it's that the Fat Sharks is very good. But watch this, I fly over here and turn around, completely lose it. I'm thinking, do I chop the throttle and go for a walk? But no, just about manages to get it back. Absolute miracle. So yeah, so there you go. This is the next update. I will be doing a further update with maybe a different scenario, but I believe the goal is achieved when it comes to flying the long range there with the micro. So thanks a lot for watching, and please subscribe. Cheers.